Okay. Hi, my name is Natalia Passe, and I'm a current therapist, and I'm working with a 33-year-old African American female who has a history of substance abuse, trauma, as well as she's is a single parent. She has a history of heroin abuse. She has a 5-year-old son who's currently placed in foster care due to her abuse with drugs, and she was unable to care for him, so he was placed in foster care. She was sentenced to 5 years in prison and currently on probation. And the reason why she was incarcerated was because she was under the influence of heroin. She caused a car accident that nearly, harmed herself as well as a pedestrian. She was referred to my agency, which is Cadencia, to enter into a forensic intensive recovery program, which is a FIR program. And our program is specifically for early release residents who are offered, due to their good behavior in prison, they're offered an early release and enter our program, which is our FIR program. Shar is the youngest of three sisters. At 18 years old, she lost her dad while serving in the Iraq War. As a result of her losing her father, Shar's mother began using heroin to cope with to cope with the death of her father. When Shar was 21 years old, she found her mother dead in her room due to an overdose. She watched the EMTs attempt to revive her mother, but to no avail, her mom passed away. Soon after the death of her mother, Shar became severely depressed. She coped with her loss by using heroin. She became very depressed, very isolated, and because of that, she now has issues. She got into a life of crime, a life of drugs. She was prostituting as well, and her son was born out of her having sex with one of her clients, and she doesn't really know who the father is of her son. Charge has and family support from her sisters, her surviving sisters, and due to attempts by her sister to get her into treatment, Shar finally reneged at one point to go into treatment, but it didn't work. She kept relapsing. So because of her relapse, her sisters really don't want to have nothing to do with her anymore, and now they want to try to distance themselves from her. They told her if she don't complete treatment, she can never come back and live with them. They share a house all together from their mother's estate, and if she doesn't get it together, she won't have her get her son again. And the sisters are currently working on trying to get the son out of foster care so they can try to raise their nephew. Um, the focus of our session is to try to work with any self-defeating thinking or behaviors that Shar may have, and develop any coping skills to deal with her self-defeating behaviors or actions. I want to have Shar look at her issues from an open-minded perspective so she can try to find a better outlook on life. Now, I have Shar with me. We're gonna work on trying to figure out what we can do. I currently will focus on using the intervention of cognitive reconstruction, which is part of the cognitive theory, which was implemented for helping those with drug issues, depression, or anxiety issues. So, how are you today, Shar?
It's going okay.
Okay. As your therapist, I want to develop a working relationship with you. And first, I want you to first sign this consent form to allow me to treat and allow for you to disclose any issues that you may have. Anything outside of this room will not be disclosed to protect your privacy. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to get you to sign this. Thank you. All right. So now, how are you feeling?
Bad. I don't have my son.
Okay. How does that make you feel?
Just awful. Who gets their kid taken away from them? Me,
Right,
a druggie.
right. Do you know what thoughts or actions have caused you to feel like this right now?
They took my son
Okay. Do you know why they took your son? Do you understand the impact of why they took your son?
because I'm on drugs.
Okay.
Well, I'm not using anymore.
Okay. Okay. And I understand you're on probation right now because of your drug use.
Right.
Okay. What things are you looking to get out of this session with working with me?
Whatever it takes to get my son back.
Okay, so with the therapy that we're going to use is called cognitive behavior therapy, and we're going to try to work on some of your defeating thoughts that you may have about trying to succeed in therapy, and as well as anything that you can try to apply in life to help you to look at it, have a better outlook on trying to get your son back, trying to stop using drugs and things of that nature. Is that something you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and part of our therapy, we have a checklist that we go through, and in the checklist, we try to identify what behaviors that you're currently having or experiencing right now. Um, do you see anything on here that may be what you're currently feeling? A thought, a behavior, or a belief that you feel like you're experiencing right now? Take your time.
Is this situation really in my control?
Um, you feel like you can control some of your behaviors if you change the way that you think?
Maybe.
Okay. So what are you currently feeling? Like what action are you feeling that's helping you not want to move forward as far as your treatment, as far as what you can do better for yourself? It's like what's holding you back? What type of things are you thinking is holding you back right now? What do you believe about yourself as to why?
Well, I don't think I was being a good mom because I was on drugs. But I was only on drugs because I was depressed about my dad
Okay.
being killed.
Okay.
And that's where it all started. And I didn't really get the help that I needed. That support.
Do you think you can succeed now?
Yeah, there's a lot. I have support now. My sister's
Okay.
motivation to get my son back.
Okay. And you do understand that you will have to stop using in order for them to for the owner for them for you to see them again, right?
To see you again.
Their family. In order to your family, your sisters don't really want to see you until you're able to, stay clean and really make a change for the better.
Well, that's not right.
You feel like that's not right now?
I don't think it's right. Addiction is a sickness. Like, I'm sick.
Okay. So what are you currently thinking? Why don't you think that you can succeed? I mean, like stop using anything like that.
Well, not that I can't stop using, but they should still come and see me. You still go and see someone in the hospital when they're sick.
I understand that, but sometimes you have to understand it's like when people give people so many chances, sometimes they're what's in and they just give up. So that's why, you have to think about how they're feeling as well. They do want to see you do better, but this is their way of trying to get you to see better by getting you to see things the hard way. And like some of the thoughts, like they feel like your thoughts are not really healthy. So we're trying to help you develop healthy thoughts so you won't have to worry about going back and reverting back to using drugs or even going back to the prison again? Because I know you're at this point right now, you're court stipulated. Anything, if you come up with any negative your analysis, you can possibly go back to jail because I had to report that if you do that.
Even though I signed that confidentiality statement.
Yes, the anything for the confidentiality is just to protect if you do anything that's if you say something real, very private that I can't release, but because you're under court mandated treatment, I still have to work with your treatment. And then if you're not abiding by the treatment standards, that's something I may have to report. But if we develop a relationship towards where you can, you know, be honest with me about your using or anything like that, we can work towards trying to get that together fixed or find another way for treatment for you.
Okay.
Okay. So you haven't seen any unhealthy thoughts that you're currently having right now?
I'm going through withdrawal. I have lots of unhealthy thoughts.
Okay. Like what? Now what are you currently feeling right now?
I feel isolated from my friends and my family.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like a person.
Okay.
Like my sisters don't want to see me because I'm not, I'm not perfect. I'm not able to kick this habit.
Okay.
I don't have my son.
Okay. So do you believe that if you change your behaviors or your thinking that you'll be able to change how you react to things?
Maybe because that's what
Okay.
got me here.
Okay. Well, we're going to try something called the ABC model. The ABC model goes through your past thinking, which is like your self-defeating behaviors or your thinking patterns, and see what we can do to try to change those behaviors and look at things from a different light. Your the event that you're experiencing is that you do want to see your son, and you're currently on probation. You're currently using drugs. Um, I see that you have a belief that you know you're not going to do well. You feel like you're a hopeless mom at this point because of you can't stop using drugs, and because of that, you isolate yourself. You become very depressed. So, do you feel what I said was correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I've tried lots of times to get clean.
Okay. So, what strengths do you think that you have? Like, what do you think that you have? What do you consider some of your strengths?
Mm, I'm willing to come here and try to get clean, even
Okay.
though it's court mandated.
Okay. So you think you're finally ready after all of the other treatments you tried in the past?
I'm ready to get clean because I need to get my son back and
Okay, that's
do whatever.
understandable, and that's a good strength that you're using for your treatment. Is to Your ultimate goal is to work towards getting your son back, and doing that means you have to stop using drugs. Um, and sometimes I understand when you use drugs, the reason why is because you're depressed. So we're going to try to figure out what ways we can do to try to help you so you won't have to think about using drugs or anything like that. Is any of these, I have an activity list. Is any of these things that you think you can do to replace your thinking?
Doing to replace thinking or doing drugs.
Pretty much both. Like you're gonna think, like try to replace a negative behavior, a negative act, or something that's positive. So these are some of the things that you can probably do to help you keep your mind off of drugs and keep your mind real clear and focused on, to obtaining the goal of being with your son and you stop using.
I always wanted to try yoga
Okay.
and learn how to knit.
Okay. Well, I have some resources for different places that provide yoga seminars. that you can probably go to. And if you go to yoga, it does teach you how to change your way of thinking by breathing exercises, stretching. All of that will help towards replacing your negative thoughts into positive thoughts. So I can give you some resources that you can probably work on while you're away from here, and we can work towards doing better or finding out what your reaction to going to yoga was helpful or not. Did it help you to see things differently? Did it be able to clear your mind? All of the concepts of yoga. We just want to see if you're able to do all of that. And knitting, our seminar has a knitting class every Saturday at 4 p.m. You can come down. We provide the yarn. It's a free class. You don't have to pay for anything. We just, it'll help to like do little stuff for yourself, little projects, and maybe you can knit something for your son that he can probably wear, or some type of memento for him, so that or you can probably sew something that represents what you can do when you get out. Like this is a memento that maybe you can knit like a star or a heart or something like that, and then constantly look down and realize this is I'm working towards getting back to my heart, which would be like the sun or something like that. So we can work towards doing that for you at this point. So how do you feel about that?
Good.
Okay. Um, is there anything you want to express to me right now? Anything like that?
Um,
Like you feel like I didn't address or didn't understand?
how many sessions do we have?
We'll do about 3 or 4 sessions, but it's based on how you're feeling. I don't want to rush anything, but usually, with you being in this court mandated treatment, all I do is report back to your probation office that you're doing well. I don't give them all the specifics within what we talk about, but I just report that you are attending and that you're doing well. That's the most that I can tell them. I don't want
And
to be
how long will it take me to get my son back?
It depends on how well you do here. Depending on how well you do here, we can, we have resources to work with reunification for your son. We can work towards, probably going to parenting classes. All of that will help you to get your son back. And once you do all of those, then you will see how well you do. So I'll continue to work with you until we figure out, if how you're going to respond, if you're able to change your behaviors and things like that. Okay. And I also want to take home, allow you to take home some homework. The homework is just going to have you to do some positive affirmations. So I'm gonna give you an affirmation book by Ayala Van Zandt, and you can use that to look at yourself. I mean, look at the daily affirmation and use it towards healthy thinking.
Okay.
Okay. So is that okay?
It sounds good.
All right.
To
So
start.
all right, that's good. So I'm hoping for positive results, and then you can, and we developing a positive relationship, so you can change for the better.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So that's our session for the day. Um, we're gonna, like I said, next time I see you, we're gonna work towards doing different stuff. I want to hear your response and your reaction from going to yoga, going to the knitting classes, and things like that. And once
You'll set me up.
yes, I'll give you resources and we'll sign up together.
Okay.
And then, therefore I can give you the support that you need, and we can try to work on developing other support systems with the people that you're in a yoga class or your knitting class.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Okay.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
All right. See you next week.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.